All right, we'll start with the opening statement from Coach, then open up for questions.
Yeah, well, different, obviously, a little bit tonight, obviously with no JJ. So new lineup, just kind of excited, anxious to see what it would look like without her, how we would function, who would step up. We knew there would be opportunity for some other players to help us in a lot of different ways, but certainly scoring is what everybody goes to when you lose a player of JJ's quality. But I thought Kylie, we got going a little bit. Kaya Watson, finally, we got her into double figures, which was good for her and good for us. And, Jordan and Shaw, I thought, kind of settled us in really early. But I thought the start was good. We wanted to have a really good start and kind of come out. A year ago in this game, the kid game, we did not play particularly well. It might have been one of our worst games of the year. So we had talked about that a little bit. It was fun. It's a different kind of noise if you are in there, so that changes a little bit, but it is fun and you do feed off of it. And I think they get the loudest at the timeouts when I need them to be a little quieter so I can actually talk to my team, and that's when it gets the loudest. But still a really fun environment for our team to play in. And if you're going to play early, it doesn't feel early. Our kids had really good energy when they came into the locker room from warm-ups. So thankful for all the schools that brought their kids. That's a really cool thing for us, and hopefully they had a good time while they were here. So, really the turnovers would be my gripe as a coach. It's getting to be a little ridiculous at this point, so I got to get this addressed. The rebounding was good. Challenged them to rebound better at half, and I did like that response. I didn't love the second unit the first time through. Their late first quarter, second quarter, I don't think they performed at the level we wanted them to, but I thought they settled in and were better in the second half, so late third quarter and the fourth quarter. But, we'll conclude the home stretch here of the non-conference and feel pretty good that we've established a home identity. And now we need to go play again on the road and play a true road game here in a little bit. We got about 9 days off, but we'll go on the road to play Temple and then get ready for Big 12 play.
So, Mark, more on the atmosphere a little bit. So, you've played in big arenas, big crowds, but do the players respond differently to this one just because there's a different energy feel in the building?
Yeah, I think you can. I think it starts with not even a response. It's just that they're motivated to play, coming off the disappointing loss, and we had to take a couple days off, and you just feel emotion and energy in the building, and that's, I think, what started. And so I was serious. I was interested to see how our team came into the locker room before the kind of the speech, and they were jumping up and down and excited, and at 10:15 in the morning, that's not always the case with college students. So I think they created it early on. Once you get in the game, sometimes it's not that you don't notice it, because I think you do, but you're playing and the ball's bouncing, and whether we were at Iowa in the 15,000 or here with 8,000 plus kids, it's similar. I think thankfully there weren't a lot of free throws shot, though, because that's when it got really loud a couple times, too, is when the opposing team was shooting free throws. But, you certainly feed off of it, and the game got out of hand a little bit early, so it just wasn't quite as important it would have been in a closer game.
Coach, how intentional were you guys about interior touches today, and did you feel that you were better at that in the second half?
We wanted to be really intentional to answer your question. I thought mixed results. I think we had 4 turnovers on post-entry passes in the first half alone, and so that was really disappointing. It's something we've worked on, and that connection. And so we lost seals. We had bad passes. I thought we could have been a little bit better. They bothered us a little more than I thought, though, to give them credit. They blocked JT a couple times from behind, and she lost them and didn't have the feel. So, they were maybe a little bit better than I was, thinking, a little taller, bigger, stronger in the inside than I thought. I thought we still should have had the advantage. But there's different ways to get into the paint. You can do it off the dribble, which we tend to do quite a bit with Jordan, JJ, Shaw. I thought we did a decent job of that. We just wanted to establish a post identity a little better, and at times it was okay, but probably not up to what I wanted.
If you have a checklist of things that need to be better for Big 12 play in a couple weeks here, is turnovers and interior work at the top of that list?
Yeah, turnovers without question, because we didn't even get it fixed in a game that I thought we had the potential to get it fixed. Rebounding will always be at the top of the list, and especially after the Texas game, we won't always play a Texas type size with that depth, but certainly in the Big 12 we're going to get it on most nights, and so those are still the two. I think we can find ways to score on the inside. We'll just have to do it a little bit differently, and it will be a little matchup depending on who we play.
Is there a main reason that you see the turnovers happening? Is it unforced? Is there just something?
It was littered throughout the whole group, so it was guard to post connection, post to post connection, ball handling, against the press late. I don't know how many we had in the fourth quarter, but it felt like a lot, when they decided to start pressing, and we have kids not playing their traditional position. So I'm kind of a little forgiving for some of those. It's the within flow, some of the decisions, a lot were just bad connections, bad timing.
I'm guessing you would still rather have a couple more games in December, but with JJ out now, getting a little bit more recovery time for her? Is that at least a small positive?
Yeah, I mean, it can be, and that was, I think, part of even the decision for her not to play was we knew what rest was coming behind today, and so let her rest, and she should be available, so I think we'll be okay. And it was a fresh kind of injury that we just needed to probably take our time and let it heal properly, and then she'll be back and I think ready to roll. But we didn't love the schedule. I've talked about. I think we tried like heck to find a game this next week. Most people are in finals. Most schools are in finals, so they can't play. We are not, and so I think we were getting kind of docked on that one a little bit. And we thought we had one game, and then late, like mid-August, we just couldn't get it to work out. So, and even like the other day, we were still trying to find a game because a few games have been canceled across the country due to weather. And so I was telling Kayla Scott, my director of operations, like, hey, go call, like make some calls, see if we can throw in a game Wednesday or Thursday of next week. But no luck yet.
You mentioned Kai offensively. She started like 0 for 3, 0 for 4, but then got it going. What's most important for her individually, offensively going forward so that she can keep putting up the numbers this year?
Yeah, well, just to keep the confidence. And I said this the other day when we were talking about her. Part of it is on me to call her number and force the issue and make her know that this is for her. And maybe it's to put it on the floor, to get a 3, so she knows she's such a huge piece of what we do offensively. So to her credit, I thought she was a little bit better. She missed a couple threes early, or at least 2. And then I thought she shied away from taking the next one that I really wanted her to take. And so just constantly positive feedback. It's on our players to find her in the right spots too. So it's collective between me, her teammates, and herself. We've got to get it. We got to get it right.
A couple weeks ago when Sydney missed a game, Sydney Woodley stepped up, and you said that she needed to be more aggressive on offense. Now Cornelia was out, but 2 shots for her. Would you say they just took her away? Did nothing present itself, or how would you
with
grade her
Woodley?
performance?
With Woodley? No. I mean, Woodley was good. I mean, she's still a defensive kid first. I mean, the shots, it wasn't like we just didn't run anything for her. We weren't running a lot of stuff anyway. We didn't have to because of the score. So, yeah, not overly worried about her. I thought she was a little bit better here. She didn't get to play as much against Texas. So, it's going to be a little matchup with her, but she's an elite defender and will help us offensively when the time comes. But, yeah, it just didn't call for it tonight.
Jordan Thomas, the Lafayette game and this game kind of played out similarly, but did you see anything from her last start to this start?
No, well, a little more comfortable, I thought, early. She didn't finish as well as I think she would probably like. I thought she had a couple that they just tipped or got it, blocked her from behind, that we've worked on that with the feel. And, but big presence, that's where we wanted to go. The first play of the game was for Jordan, just to see if we could establish that back-to-back basket presence. And, they came out in zone, which was fine. We got the open look. But, it's just an identity for us. And I've said she's going to be a really good player. And she's learning. I think she learned a lot. When we got back from the Texas game, I asked them, how do we feel 2 days after? Because we gave them 2 days off. And I think she was the first one actually to speak up. And she said, I learned a lot. Was kind of her response.
Sydney's obviously experienced, but first year with the team, she seems to be more comfortable every single game. I watch her play at least. Did you do anything specifically towards Sydney when she first joined the team at the beginning of the year to try to integrate her more as far as comfort, or did she just kind of do that herself with her experience, or how has that worked out?
Yeah, Shaw you're talking about, right? Sydney Shaw. Yeah, Shaw fit in really quickly when she got here. We thought on film when we recruited her from Auburn, I thought there was an offensive ability that we could probably unleash a little bit if we could get her to take some of the right shots and use her ability to shoot the 3. We wanted her to take her steps defensively, which now the irony is she had a career high in 6 steals today, so maybe we're getting a little buy-in there from Sid. But no, she's been really good. I mean, made the one error in the one game, and she's bounced back really, really well since then. And, I do like a leadership team, and she's a part of my leadership team, and so we've had some good conversations on those types of things. And so, no, we're just, I think we're all gaining trust as we go through every game with her. She's a very confident kid when she plays the game. She shoots it at a crazy high level, but I think there's more to her game too, and we're just trying to, expand it and pull out every positive, component of her game.
So your next game is a nationally televised game. Is there extra incentive of being on that national stage, of getting to show the basketball world your guys' identity and who you are?
Yeah, good question. I don't know if it's extra incentive. It's a great honor, and you want to play in as many of those to get as many eyes on your program as you possibly can. We went a year ago with none until we got into the NCAA tournament, and I think we're supposed to have 5 in the regular season, non-conference and conference, and this is the first of the 5. And so, you want to just play well, and you want to expose your program to the national attention, and hopefully we do play well and click on all cylinders. But for the most part, for me, I want to go on the road and figure out how to win on the road, because that's what becomes really important. And this is the first true road game of the year for us. And so that's why we scheduled it. It's what we needed. Obviously, 6 days later, we go play Colorado in the Big 12 on the road. So lots of reasons. But, yeah, it would be one of them.
How long for JJ?
I think it's a day-to-day-ish. So we got a couple days off, and then we'll reevaluate on Monday.
Destiny got some quality minutes out there. How do you feel like she's developed as a player over the last few
Yeah,
years?
we got to continue to get her minutes. She's going to have to play through some mistakes, and I need to let her probably play through some of those, which at times I get a little frustrated, but forget she's just a freshman trying to kind of work through this. So she's a really good player, really talented player. She's coming off an injury from a year ago. So she hasn't played basketball in a little bit. Was hurt, came here, remember at semester a year ago, so she didn't really play her senior year of high school. And so I think she's just working her way probably back into this. You see the good in her. She'll make some plays, handle it, go finish, run through passes in transition. She's a great-looking athlete. She's a beast in the weight room. And then she gets herself in trouble by over-dribbling and a few things. So we're just trying to work that out of her. But, yeah, she's going to be a really good player for us, hopefully this year and certainly beyond.
Coach, is there a difference? And if so, can you maybe just explain what it is when you're playing coming off a loss?
Yeah, well, you have their attention. I think we always want to get better. Typically, it's you get their attention a little more after a loss. But we've always talked about, whether we win or lose, we're going to find ways to get better. Texas, when you play those quality of opponents, expose your weaknesses at a whole nother level. And so we got to really talk about that. I thought the rebounding was a little bit better. We chart block out percentages and rebounds, and so they know exactly how many times they're blocking out and who's getting rebounds when we do block out. And I don't have those numbers yet from today, but I imagine it's going to be considerably better than Texas. And then obviously the turnovers would be the disappointing piece. And we didn't shoot very many threes against Texas, which we thought we needed to, and so we wanted to come out and establish an identity from the three, which I thought we did. So you get all of those things to talk about when you play a team like that and happen to lose. But most importantly, I get their attention from a loss.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everyone.
Coach, no change.